Well, so I am a loud and proud diehard atheist, and I have been since I was in a Catholic school. It was the weirdest thing one could ever imagine, being in a Catholic school and knowing that you were atheist. Charlie Kirk had to me, a very toxic Christian nationalist narrative that he really liked to push. Most of the time when he would conversate with people. And I will tell you right now, I have actually listened to his podcasts, his full debates. I'm not a clip and quote a clip sort of person. Like I've known of him for years. Most people are new to him since he got shot, and I'm not. Like as a atheist, he would come up a lot in the atheist groups. And, somebody who openly would encourage men to make sure their women are subservient, make sure, you're number one in your household. Somebody who had that narrative of, if you don't have the answer, it has to be God. That's to me a really scary narrative because I can't live by that narrative. I do not believe in God. And so when every time he got kind of stuck in a corner, he said, well, God wouldn't want it, or it's in the Bible, and then start tying that into the nationalism. This country is not supposed to be based on a religion. And as he became more and more popular, my nephew actually saw him. He came and debated at my nephew's college. And my nephew went and saw him. And you figure this is a man who has a very large audience going to colleges, teaching very impressionable youth who, at the time, I mean, right now, 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds, they don't really have a path. And so when they have this guy come in front of them that says, Christian nationalist is the way to go. Men, you're being emasculated by women in your life. A lot of the comments he's made about black women specifically is very derogatory. It was something that I could never get behind. And people like to say that he was really open to debate, but if you really break into what a debate is or break into the narratives of debate, he had a lot of tactics he would use to kind of interrupt people who had alternate viewpoint. And so I don't feel like he actually fought fair. I thought that and then when he didn't have the answer, like I said, bringing it back to God, for somebody who's not religious, that's sort of a moot point.
Well, there's just a couple questions. You were saying that something about about the USA being based that's in religion, right?
It should not be based in religion.
Okay. So can I ask why?
Why? Well, America, when the colonists first started coming over, a lot of the reason they came over was religious freedom. So you look at like the Quakers and you look at the colonists, the Pilgrims, they may have all been in some facet Christian, although I don't think Quakers, I mean, they kind of can be considered that. But when the founding fathers got together, they did not want the Christian narrative to be the only narrative. And so to me, as the Christian nationalist movement is rising, and I feel like he was a big voice of that, it's starting to start silencing the voices of the non-Christian faculty, which is more than just atheists. It would be across the board. But I do believe that America, from the original colonists, were of different religions. I mean, even the Church of England was different than the colonialists, which was different, like I said, than the Quakers. So they all had their factions, but they were not the same religion.